What's down with it? It's the Realist. You hear me? You tuned into In the Nightlife.
No one blessed and never stressed. Nigga, I'm blessed and never stressed. Niggas will sell their soul just to win best dressed. Hey. I be thrifting dressed for less. I be thrifting dressed for less. Felines and classic Jenny hoes still get undressed. Gon' relax with bitches press. All you mother hoes. Trust the process roster, you have dreads and no time. Disrespect, that's a no-no. Bumping work by the truckload. All I wanted was the money, and she expected something from me. Disrespect, that's a no-no. Your sister, she a bozo. Give me brain till I'm no good.
How did you come up with your name?
Hi, good one. The Realist. Well, first of all, it relates back to like the theory of realism, and that's basically like a practice or believing in things are exactly what you see them as. And I feel like as an artist, that's what I am. I am what you see. Most people like misinterpret it for like the realist, R-E-A-L-E-S-T. Like I think I'm the realist, and it's like nah, it's not that. It's more so like a ideology, a theory.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So let me know and everyone else that may not know where you're from.
From New Orleans, West Bank, you hear me, Murmur all day. You know what it is.
Yes. Now let everybody know, how is your creative process? Explain that, and like what is an average day for you in the studio?
Real. Shoot, to be honest with you, my creative process start off with just everyday life. Just the things I deal with on a daily basis. Writing and stuff like that, I just use it as like a form of therapy, to be honest. So I sit back and reflect on my day, and I get to writing. Some things come to me in a tune or a melody, and I come up with a hook, and then I just take it from there. Other things, I leave it in poetry form. But in the studio, I'm definitely a writer. You know, some people go in there and just like to do their thing, and I respect it. I catch a vibe and freestyle, but I try to be very specific and intentional with what it is, what message I'm trying to convey, and because of that, I like to write.
Absolutely, I definitely agree with you. And with that being said, you must be inspired by many things, or let's say perhaps music. Like, what is it that inspires your sound?
There's a lot of things that inspire, to be honest with you. I am a teacher, but I also like am a band director, and so like I hear certain patterns and certain cadences and things like that, and so some of the things I rap about comes from that. Other things is like just the people I grew up listening to. Like honestly, I'm really soulful. I like N.D.R.E. and like Jennings. Like that's the people I grew up listening to. Wale, I mean, he's a real poet, real lyricist. He really like slept on in the industry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get my inspiration from people like that. Your Kanye West's, all your classics, you know. But yeah, definitely Wale. I'm a big Wale fan.
Absolutely. For me, listening to some of your music, I have definitely heard the good feel vibes, like the mood per se. Everyone should have a chance to listen to. How would you place yourself in a genre? You know, there's hip hop, there's R&B. Where would you place yourself?
Definitely a mix. But I do some crossover songs. Like I have a lot of music. I have reggae songs. I have a gospel song. Some things are R&B where I'm harmonizing. Trippie Redd, like I like him a lot. Sometimes I listen to his music when I'm trying to catch a certain type of vibe, or if I'm trying to give off an energy or tell my story in a certain way, and you know, things of that nature. So just stuff like that, you know.
Mhm. Now let me know, what is one of the most memorable things that you enjoy as being an artist?
I think my favorite thing is performing in other cities, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm one of them people who like, I'm kind of like reserved, quiet, but it's something about being in another city where don't nobody know you. It like give you a free round to like literally cut up on some shit, like, you know. And so I kind of like use that as a platform. I lived in Philly a while, so I did shows in Philly, New York. I did some shows in Baltimore. I did a show in Miami, some shows in Houston. So it's just like just being in different cities and watching other people from different cities, like kind of like listen to my music and just take it for what it is and appreciate it. That's always a good feeling to me.
Now, have you ever dealt with performance anxiety?
All the time. But it's also like what kind of like keeps me pushing towards it. It's almost like conquering your fear. Like when something makes you scared of it, it almost makes you want to like face it on head first. It's kind of like roller coasters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get on it. It's the best part of the theme ride, but it's the anticipation of it all that gets you there. That's the exciting part.
So after watching your video Entanglement, I definitely got another view from it. So let me know, and everyone else know, where did entanglement come from?
Man, I mean, the obvious answer gonna be is like as a play on the whole situation going on right now. But the title actually came along after the fact that the song was written. Me and my boy, I was in Philly, and he does music, and so do I. He like, yo, we been supposed to do a song. You know, let's get it popping. We hit up one of our producer friends. He sent us a beat, and I mean, instantly we just came in with the lyrics and just vibed off of it and went from there. I mean, again, like I said, it's always dealing with stuff we going through. We talking our little talk, you know, he going through some things, and so was I at the time. So, you know, we kind of put it in a song, so to say.
Right, and just what's the coincidence of the incident that swarmed the internet with August Alsina and the Smiths. So just me, you know, people hearing the song, it's definitely like to the subject, but the vibe just more subtle instead of you just thinking of the ghetto-ness of that situation.
Understood.
Yes, definitely. Now, do you have any upcoming projects we should look forward to?
I am working on the album. It's kind of like subtitle. It's called Energy, like energy, but energy.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like reaching out to the me behind my rap persona. You know what I'm saying? Me behind the realist, because the realist is the performer. The realist is the person who gets in front of people, not giving a fuck and do their thing. But the J is the person who actually going through his experiences and putting them in a way that the realist can kind of like deliver them to an extent. So the Energy project is definitely going to be like a chance for me to be vulnerable and kind of like just put those experiences out there for what they are.
That's dope. Now, you know, right now with us being in 2020 and having to deal with so many things, I know that probably made a standstill within just creating music. Like, allow yourself to let me know, how are you able to cope through the pandemic and still be able to progress with your music?
You know, sometimes it's really hard, seasonal depression and all that stuff is like really a real thing, and I feel like most people probably deal with these things, but they just don't know how to express it, or maybe out of fear of being judged or categorized or whatever. But I mean, just like most people with this pandemic, it have people feeling like, really low. And it's crazy because it actually inspired me to write music that I've never tried to write before, which is more so like this get up and get it type thing. I got a song coming out, it's called Crush, and if you listen to it, it's very different, it's real vibey, it's like, different from what I would normally do, and it's crazy because you would expect the opposite. You might assume like, okay, this person is sad, so they're gonna give you all these sad songs, and it's like, for me, it's the opposite. It's like me bringing myself out of whatever I'm feeling. So if I'm sad, I'm producing all hype music, because that's gonna bring me into that energy that I'm trying to do. If I've gotten over something and I'm in a better place, then I'm able to better reflect and deal with those sad emotions without even being sad, So it's just like one of those things. But I mean, with the pandemic, I try to write as much as I can, keep my thoughts flowing. I do a lot. I've gotten, even though I've always been one with nature per se, I've definitely delved into that more. I love sunsets, love watching the sunrise. I mean, I'm not a 6 a.m., 6:35 girl, but my body's just up, being near the ocean, the rivers and lakefronts in New Orleans, any type of water that always calms me and relaxes me. And just a general appreciation for just life, man. There's so many things that we can be, grateful for, and really take advantage of. Not even really, just like family, like, especially like you said with COVID, everybody's losing people at this time, so it's hard to be like, oh, I'm dealing with a loss. Everybody's dealing with losses, but still in all, like I lost my grandfather, so that's a loss, and then dealing with my other people who passed away in the family and stuff. So it's just like, it's definitely been a lot, but I definitely say like staying moving, and just writing it out, man. That's really like my thing. Like I said, some things don't make it to the track. Some things are just left in my diary. Some things are just poems, Some things are better for open words and open mics, and then other things when we put on the album.
That's dope. I'm really glad to hear that you was able to release your creativity during the time, because I had moments where I was just brain dead, to where I focused so much on me and self-care. I really felt like this was a time for reset and for people to just really take time to themselves And you being an artist, it just even probably allowed you to become more creative. And like you said, you found new sounds to dibble and dabble with, to where it's like you just never know what you have in you.
Yeah.
Till you might have to sit down. And that's what it seemed like, you know. And just with that being said, social media grew to a whole nother an extent. I knew the communication business just grew tremendously. Maybe other businesses fell off, but not with communications and dealing with the internet and just social media. Mm-hmm. Tell me, how has social media helped you express yourself, especially with your music?
I say it's kind of like the opposite, to be honest. Social media is obviously a great platform to keep in touch with people, to kind of like get a glimpse in the daily life of others, which is always great. But then there's also the underlying things that social media brings to the table, like, you know, for lack of better expressions, the clout and the popularity, and things of that nature. And so sometimes as an artist, you can get discouraged, feeling like your music could be good enough, but due to lack of followers, paid for or not, you know what I'm saying? Maybe your music won't reach as many people, or per se, like, you know, clickbait, like just things of that nature. So to an extent, it definitely like gives people who already know me and the people who already support me, it gives them easy access to my music. I'll say that gives them easy access to the things that are going on in my life. But as far as like using social media as a platform to gain a broader reach of people, I don't think it's very good at that. And I also don't necessarily use it for that per se.
Yeah, I think in due time that will change. Social media is not in everybody's best interest. I believe it's a great marketing and business tool if you just use it the way you're supposed to and not misuse it like we see most people do. Even with what you were stating, tell me, how has your support been? Like, who's been motivating you? Has it been more of family and friends, or strangers, and even just adding to maybe people that you found on social media that never met you before? Like, who's been your most support lately?
You know what? That's a good question. First, I really kind of keep my music away from family. I don't know why. It's kind of anxiety thing. And so recently, it's actually been a lot of my family on Facebook. My auntie's calling me like, "Hey, I just heard your new song," and I'm like, "Oh, which one?" The one where I'm talking about the females. I'm just playing, but you know, so. Lately it's been like a lot of family, and I've been very appreciative of that. You know, it's very like accepting, like, you know, like, we love this, you know, anything you do, we're here to support you. Equally, on the other side of that, you know, there are people who I've been knowing for 5-6 years can't get a like. You know what I'm saying? People who, when they need something, call your phone, and it's like, absolutely, I'm there, and you can't get a repost, you know. I'm not the type of person to ask for it. You know, my people that's in my immediate circle, my homies, you know, I got my little team, they do their thing, they always supporting. But, you know, it is cliche enough, again, but, you know, it always is the people who don't really know you that support you the most. I get a lot of people who contact me and say, shout out to my plant loving friend, you know what I'm saying? But she always like, you know, I listen to your song during my workout. It's one of my favorite songs. You know, it's like small things like that that really keep you going, because it's like, you don't know me from Adam and Eve. Like, you literally an Instagram follower. So the fact that you heard my song and actually like it, you're not really basing that on anything other than the music itself. And I like that. When I first started, or, you know, came out as an artist, I consider being like an anonymous artist, to where like I never showed my face. I call myself the Realist. It's very like versatile. When you hear my voice on the track, you don't know, you know, which way it is. So it's like as an anonymous thing, as a plea. But yeah, I definitely say it's very some mixed support. Family does a lot of it, but generally speaking, it's always the people who you don't really know you who support you the most.
What is something that your fans and supporters wouldn't know about you by watching you on social media?
Wow. I'm very like quiet, reserved, like I'm real chill. Like, people see me out and they're like, "Oh, what's up, it's Jay," and they probably think like I'm just this big party person, but in reality, most of the time I'm like ready to go home, probably having mad anxiety. I tend to like kind of like try to stay within my bubble. I love to garden. I do that a lot. And even in gardening, I sometimes come up with like concepts and metaphors for songs that I didn't write.
Okay.
And so like I really literally find inspiration in anything. But yeah, I definitely am like a very standoffish person, very shy. I think most people don't know that.
Well, once they hear your voice and hear you cut up, then they will find out.
Right.
So I think that's pretty dope. I also wanted to ask you a question just from you being from New Orleans and just with how influential and heavy our culture is in music. Like, how do you feel about the younger and current generation that's doing hip hop, R&B music at the moment? Like, do you feel like people are doing great work and getting the recognition that's deserved, or do you feel like you may have to leave New Orleans to get yourself heard in real life?
You know, I'm gonna definitely say that you have to leave, but I'm only saying that based on the idea of you can't only be expecting the confirmation from your peers. You got to get out there and get it from other people too. And so if you only looking to make it in New Orleans, then I guess we all already made it because we here. You know what I'm saying? We doing it, we producing the music, so we already made it. But in order to go mainstream, you almost have to leave the nest. And then as far as like, you know, the younger artists and, you know, artists before me and stuff like that, I personally think like some people like try to like, you know, put mumble rappers or like new school rappers in a certain category. And for me, I feel like it's freedom of expression, you know, it's just like freedom of speech. So it's like the way one person chooses to express this art form is totally up to them. People who like classical music, they listen to classical music. People who like rap, they listen to rap. So if you're into mumble rap, then that's the artist you're gonna listen to. If you're interested in conscious or, you know, something that's gonna awaken something in you, then you're gonna listen to other types of stuff. So I definitely respect everybody, you know, art and they hustle and how they deliver.
Where's one place that you would love to visit and share your music that you haven't been before?
I'll definitely say LA.
Yeah.
I definitely say LA. I've never been specifically, and then just stereotypically, I feel like that'd be a good place to go out and market and possibly like run into the right people. You know, even if I mean the right person to me can be a person on the corner who just likes my music and then tell everybody at their job to listen to me and, you know, listen to me on Spotify. It doesn't always have to be like an A&R rep or something like that for a major label, and that's just like where I'm at with it. I'm not looking to be famous. I'm not looking to get a check. Like, you know, I'm pretty self-sufficient. I'm looking to express. Like, I'm looking to share my art with people. Like I said, I use this as a form of therapy. Some of the things I've gone through or are going through, maybe somebody could relate. Maybe somebody could use the story and use it as a stepping stone. I know me personally, when I'm at my lowest, I listen to India.Arie. She got an album, Love and Politics, Volume 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And just listening to those albums from start to finish, you go through this emotional roller coaster, and it's so inspiring for me for music to elicit such emotions in a human when they listen to it. You know, it's actually it gets really healing, like, you know. And so I almost inspire to just do the same thing with my music, like use what I go through to almost, you know, write it out, like sing it out, you know, get it out in a way that other people can hear it, interpret it, and then get their own form of healing from the pain or the things that I've been through.
Well, describe your music using one word.
Different. Unorthodox.
Okay. Now, if you weren't doing music at this time, what do you think what you'll be doing?
I'm actually kind of teeter-tottering within it still. I used to own a food truck. And I'm thinking about diving back into it. I'm 27 now. I owned a food truck when I was 21 years old. I was fresh out of college. I did that. I'm very proud of it. But, you know, you're learning a lot, and when you're doing things on your own, you don't always make the right decisions. And so at that time in my life, I made some decisions. Some were good, some were bad. But now that I'm older and know better, I'm almost ready to revisit that and see what life has in store for it.
That's cool. What were you cooking on your food truck?
Gumbo, etouffee, all your staples. The seafood nachos way back before it was a fad.
Yes.
You know, that's when I remember Santa Fe back in the Gap with the Bill Cosby.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they said the seafood nachos, they closed down. I'm like, oh yeah, that's me.
Okay.
But, yeah, like, you know, stuff like that. I was when the hospital was just building up, I was like selling a lot of breakfast stuff. Just depending on where I pulled up. Very fluid. I was only in operation for about 8 months. Okay. Start to finish. So within that 8 months, I had a different menus, just trying out different things and test kitchens and stuff. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It was such a great learning experience, and definitely made me the person I am today in more than one aspect.
That's awesome. Now, when you come back rolling, let me know so I could come over there, check out you guys' food.
Oh yeah, we lit.
For sure, for sure. Now, 3 years from now, where do you see your music career?
3 years from now, I'm looking to just be a household name about a up and coming indie artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, everybody could say they want to be the next Lil Wayne or whoever it is, you know, but specific to me and what I'm looking for, I just want when somebody say, have you heard of the Realist? Yeah, I heard of her. Or, nah, let me check her out, and then check it out and then actually be a fan. You know what I'm saying? Actually add that to your playlist, something that you could just listen to.
Now, how well do you take constructive criticism?
I'm open to it. You know, sometimes I'm actually mad when like my little brother's like one of my, biggest fans. So I send him all my music and I'm like, how you like it? He like, it's fire. I'm like, bet. Send him something else. How you like it? It's fire. I'm like, bro, tell me something, So I actually like criticism, but then I guess it's just like with anything. It depends on how you say things. You know what I'm saying? It's still a creative process. It's still an art. And so when you think about criticism, it's more so like feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like I can accept it. I can listen to it, but it's up to me ultimately if I want to implement that and then let it still be my piece of art and not what somebody else want the art to be.
Now tell me, what is your next mission as the Realist?
My next mission, to be honest, is to get this project together. Just being transparent. We all go through different emotions within ourselves, and in doing so, like I've been putting together projects. I've really been recording music for literally 5 years, since like 2015. And so with that, I have a plethora of songs. If I had to put a number on it, I'd say about 63, of which 2 I've put on major streaming platforms. I've put a few on SoundCloud, but most of them are just like in my reserve bank. And so my biggest goal is to come up with a concept and then actually stick with it and just go ahead and put it out. I do a lot of like self-doubt. I'll sit up there and think about, oh, I don't want to put this out. Or what if I put it out and no one will listen to it? All these things. But in reality, like it's something that I'm just going to do. So like that's the next big thing I got coming out. I'm actually going to call the album My Mom Thinks I'm Crazy. So yeah, we're going to get it.
Does she really think you crazy?
It's like a play on words. Like, girl, you crazy. It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They be like, you get it from your mom, like I know, like yeah. But that and just the idea of like, crazy is it's a word that has a negative connotation, but when you think about life, I mean, do you really want to be mundane or would you rather be crazy? Like, think about your past lovers. The ones you remember the most is the ones that's what?
The most craziest.
Okay.
I truly agree with you when somebody say you crazy. Like, I use that word as just like a part of that's just a part of our culture too. But like, I just say, girl, you crazy. And I be having to sometimes give a disclosure. Like, I don't really think you're crazy. Now, if someone's crazy, it might be me.
And that's kind of the same thing. It's like my mom doesn't think I'm crazy, but she thinks I'm crazy.
I feel like there's like you could call me crazy and I won't take no type of. I'm not gonna feel no type of way.
Yeah.
I know my craziness. You know,
Levels.
that's levels. There's definitely levels. Now, also, let me know, how do you interact with your fans and your supporters when it come down to your new music?
To be honest with you, I try to like be more active with it. Like I said, I'm a very like in the moment person. I'm so random. I'll be in the elevator with someone that's awkwardly quiet and I pull out my phone like, hey, check out my new song on YouTube. And so that's me more than it is me posting on my Instagram 3-4 times a day saying, watch this video. I feel like in-person interactions give the person an authentic chance to like experience you as a person before they listen to your music. There's millions of mainstream artists, so why should I listen to your music if I don't know you? But if I have a conversation with you, maybe compliment your shoes, you might feel more inclined to engage in that conversation where I can then say, what type of music you listen to? Would you run? Oh, you run. Okay, what type of music you like to listen to when you work out? Oh, you like to listen to fast music. I got this song, check it out, you might like it. Oh, you like to listen to slow things. Okay, I got this song, check it out, you might like it. And so I definitely like to interact with my fans more so on like a one-on-one personal basis as opposed to like, all at once. And I think that have a lot to do with my social anxiety, but it be like that. And I feel like, as artists, you have some artists who come off a record and say like that, and I guess I did say Wale is one of my artists, but you know, he's always been one of those artists who's been very boisterous about, you know, the way he feel and like things like that he goes through, as far as social anxiety. And he said he might be in the room with, you know, Rick Ross somebody and Meek Mill, and that's his boys, he on the same, you know, label, but he might feel some type of way just because he feel like he's different, or they don't understand him as a person because he's different than, you know, he's not talking about being in Philly with the four-wheelers and the guns. You know, he's more so expressing like what's going on in his head and, you know, things of that nature. And so, you know, that's a real thing. But yeah.
Now, as an artist, what's your favorite part of this line of work?
My favorite part is the decompressing. I think that's like that's my favorite part about it all. And sometimes decompression for me is writing it. Other times it's recording it in the studio. Other times it's when I get back from the studio and I'm at home and it's dark and I'm just playing the song and I'm listening to it and I'm like, wow, I wrote that, or wow, I was really feeling this type of way when I wrote this song, you know. And so that's definitely my, you know, that's what does it for me. That's what it keeps me going.
Now, as an artist, what would be your least favorite part of the line of work?
My least favorite part, I'm going to go with the obvious and just say the marketing. You know, just getting it into the hands of other people. You know, to create is one thing. And then to be, like, responsible for, like, also distributing this creation, it becomes a whole different ball game. And it can sometimes actually, like, make you lose momentum for the actual talent, you know, or the actual gift or the thing that you're trying to do. And so I definitely say, like, the actual spreading of it and just the behind the scenes of it is what I, you know, kind of don't care for too much. But the actual creating process, that's what the bread and butter is.
I think that's probably going to be for a lot of people and artists who are just coming up and just starting, because that's a whole nother side of the business.
Yeah.
I feel as though you can have the talent, but really that's not even really what matters. It's about the business. And in due time, it plays out in your favor.
Yeah.
So I just add that. It'll always play out in your favor in the meantime. So let me know what's next for you.
Next up, we got this album coming out. I'm really trying to push for the end of December, leading into the new year. So definitely hear some new things with that coming. Also some new fan merch. I got some like the Realist gear. And again, it's not on no, when you wear the shirt, you're not the realest person. It's almost like you just accepting of your reality. Like, we living in this world. This is what it is. Sometimes it's fucked up. Sometimes it's okay, you know. But, you know, we live in the moment and we stay present and we just take things for how they are each and every day. It's almost a reminder. Cliche to say it's a movement, but it's just it's a mentality. It's a mind state, you know. And so the album, maybe some few merch. I do have the videos. We got a lot of videos coming, things of that nature, and just keeping things going. Like I said, I'm an educator full-time, so I'm still in school. I'm still teaching America's youth. You know, it's hard out here for the virtual learning teacher, but we doing it. And so just being creative. I literally wrote a song. I'm a science teacher.
Okay.
I write music for my students. When they learn new content, I'm the corny teacher that's rapping the lyrics to they study guides so that they can learn it and be better, you know. And so being all over the place, there's a lot of things coming, but overall, it's just always going to be true, always going to be authentic, always going to be real.
Let the people know where they can find you on social media and other music platforms.
So, easiest way to find me is going to be on Instagram, _J. You have to spell out the word UNDERSCOREJAE. Instagram, and then I'm on all all music streaming platforms. So Tidal, iTunes, all that stuff. Type in the Realist, THAREALIST.
What's up, y'all? This is Nightlife Lexx, and we are in the nightlife, and I have my homegirl here with me, the Realist.
You know what it is. What's down with y'all?
What's going on?
I'm cool.
Man, I had such an enjoyable time with you for our interview, the exclusive, only here on In the Nightlife. Let everybody know what we should be looking forward to.
Got a new album coming out here, that been called My Mom Thinks I'm Crazy. It's a pun on words, you know, but you gotta listen to the album and you have to decide yourself if you think I am or not. But other than that, y'all can follow me on Instagram, _J, spell out the word _JAE, and stay up to date on all things The Realist.
All right, now you heard her here, and y'all make sure y'all tune in to In the Nightlife, and make sure you guys check us out on all social media platforms, Nightlife Lexx, and you can also check out our website, nightlifemusic.com, and also subscribe to my YouTube so you can check out this new exclusive interview with the Realist. Make sure y'all tap in.
Tap, tap, tap. Alright.